こんにちは、ヴィキガラスと申します。ムーンチャイのディレクターです。これからワインの紹介です。でも、これからも英語にします。よろしくお願いします。First, I'd like to introduce our Chardonnays. Our very first Chardonnay was called The Page. It was actually our winemaker, Philippe Melka's very first Chardonnay. It got some worldwide recognition. It was poured at 10 Downing Street in the UK, and also Gordon Ramsay loves our Chardonnay, and he stocks his cellar with it. And that inspired our winemaker to make 2 other Chardonnays for us. So we have a total of 3 Chardonnays. The Page from the Ritchie Vineyard in Sonoma Coast, the Sonoma Coast Charles Heinz Vineyard, and we have our Bald Mountain Napa Chardonnay. Now, this 2020 vintage of the Napa Chardonnay is the only wine that we made in 2020 because here in California we had very bad fires and we were worried about smoke taint. However, we had a good portion of the fruit in with the first harvest of this Bald Mountain Chardonnay before the fires hit. So we have about 225 cases of this. Normally, we would produce 600 cases of this. It's a wildly popular Chardonnay. All of our Chardonnays are barrel fermented, so they're very food friendly, very nice with your creamy cheeses. You can even get away with a creamy dessert if you like. It has a cream and caramel and salt element. Very, very low production. With all our Chardonnays, only 100 cases of the Page, 300 cases of our Sonoma, and then this Napa is 600 normally, but however, our 2020, like I said, is a low production. This 2020 is one of my favorite Chardonnays, actually. I love the bright acidity on it, even though it is completely barrel fermented. And in French barrels, we produce French wines with the benefit of California fruit. So it certainly shows in here. All of our Chardonnays are very Burgundian style. This is our 2021 Sonoma Coast Chardonnay. It's harvested from the Charles Heinz Vineyard in Sonoma Coast. The Heinz family has farmed and owned that land since 1912. They were, during Prohibition, they had to stop growing grapes, which were Zinfandel at the time, and they switched to apple farms. Then eventually they started to plant Chardonnay. It's just a beautiful area for Chardonnay. It gets the coolness that Chardonnay needs. Also, their vines are about 25 years old, so older vines there. Whenever you have an older vine, of course, older fruit, you have a much better wine. I personally love this Sonoma for the actual tropical fruit flavors I get on the palate. I will go and try the fruit before we crush. So after harvest, when the fruit is about to be crushed, I will go and eat the actual fruit because I love the flavor. It's very different from other Chardonnay fruit. Chardonnay fruit tends to have a bitterness to it, but the fruit that comes from the Charles Heinz Vineyard has a sweetness to it, almost sometimes a pineapple flavor or even melon and sometimes stone fruit. So it's always very interesting. This 2019 is one of my favorite vintages, and it's also, like all of our Chardonnays, very food friendly. I especially love it with a creme brulee dessert. Try it sometime, it's amazing. Or a panna cotta with some caramel and Hawaiian black rock salt. But definitely enjoy our wines with food. They're French made and very light on the tannins, very light on the acidity, but they have ageability. All of our Chardonnays have an amazing ageability, so you can drink them 10 years from now, 12 years from now, whenever you like. This is our Corinne Cuvée Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is a bit new for us. Once our winemaker Philippe Melka had great success with the Chardonnays, Burgundian style wines, although he is a Bordeaux winemaker. we decided to ask him to make a Pinot Noir for us. So we started making Pinot Noir in 2017. This one is the 2019, one of my favorite vintages. This wine is our most popular wine. We are completely sold out of this 2019. In fact, we're completely sold out of all of our Pinot Noir, simply because it is a big favorite. Here in America, people are enjoying lighter tannins, more Burgundian style Pinots, and this is it. Normally in California, the Pinots tend to mimic Merlot as they have a heavier body, and they also have heavier tannins and a lot more fruit. This, however, is close to a Burgundy style because of the way it's made with our French winemaker, and also our French barrels, and also the coolness of the vineyards where we source. We only make 100 to 120 cases of this wine. That's why it goes so quickly. This one was sold out within months. This is my favorite wine to pair with many different foods. Try it with Japanese dishes, it's amazing. I love it with Italian food. I love it with hard cheeses, charcuterie plates, everything. If you have vegetarian friends or vegetarian diets, this is the wine that pairs beautifully with that kind of food. So I highly recommend it. It's very much a Burgundian wine, but with that benefit of California fruit. This is our Blacklist. This is an extraordinary wine. It's very unique. We only make 4 barrels, and each time we make a different one. This is where we allow our winemaker, Philippe Melka, to make his best wine. We tell him basically, be your French artistic creative self, do what you like. So we'll source from any vineyard that he chooses, we'll use the barrels that he chooses, and he decides what kind of blend will go in each unique, different Blacklist. This is only a club wine. We do not sell it on the outside. It's only available for club members due to its scarcity. So basically, this one is our 2019. It was the first one we made in 2019 among 4 others. This is our Blacklist 28. It happens to be a personal favorite of mine because it is a Bordeaux blend. I love any kind of Bordeaux blend from Philippe Melka because, as you know, Philippe Melka got his start at Chateaubriand in Bordeaux. That's where he's from. And he was also the winemaker for Petrus. So Cab, Merlot, Cab Franc, all of those Bordeaux varietals are a specialty of his. He is one of the top 9 winemakers in the world, and we're very blessed to have him as our winemaker. This is his most creative wine. This is the wine where he just does what he wants to do. Every single one is delicious, unique. We make everything from 100% Cab Franc. We've made 100% Merlot. Each one is different. We only have, of this 2019 number 28 Blacklist, we only have about 20 bottles left. So it's a very, very rare wine, and one of my favorites in the world. Enjoy.